Ladies and gentlemen, it is a rare moment indeed when as Pittsburgh's only bona fide film critic, receive a screening invitation for a Disney film. Disney and I crossed horns with the release of Finding Nemo, and boy, they just didn't like my review on that. And we've been battling one another ever since. I've made it pretty much my life's mission to point out all of the woke propaganda bullshit that Disney keeps putting in to its movies and trying to influence our kids. And I probably have been one of their biggest critics, no pun intended, since they set the rules of engagement with this initial clash over Finding Nemo. But I'm not picayune like the company is. When they get it right, I say, yep, Disney got it right. And they did with tonight's lesson plan. As cinematic class is about to begin, and your professor, is it? Greetings, salutations, another sundry affair. I am your cinematic professor and purveyor of truth in movies. And as the purveyor of truth, I have to say that with the release of Disney's Lilo and Stitch, they have got it right. In fact, they have returned to the family friendly formula that established them as a powerhouse in family entertainment. I know people online. The movie's been out for a while, and people online have been picking little tidbits here or there to rail about. Uh, these are people with way too much time on their hands, and people who simply just have to bitch about everything. This movie is fine, and it does harken back to the early days of Disney when their first and foremost uh, modus operandi were to make entertaining family fare, and this version of Lilo and Stitch certainly does that. It combines a lot of the first animated movie with a little bit of the second, and they even pull a couple of things from the TV show and mix them all up into a hodgepodge and come up with a plot that's not bad. The writers on this were Chris Bright and Mike Van Ways, and boy, it's nice to see something that is just pure family entertainment come out of Disney.
Ugh, why do I have to be at your work? I'm sick.
Because someone got kicked out of hula. Stay here.
So boring here.
And no dogs on the table.
Why not?
Because people eat off them.
Nani?
Who cares? They're already covered with bird pill.
Lilo.
Nani!
Stay here.
Lilo, how's it going?
Look, David, I got a dog.
You sure that's a dog?
Yeah.
Rough. Oh, okay.
Stitch? There you are. No. Stitch, put it down.
Isa?
Yes,
Naka? Baba Ita?
you.
No. Pizza so. Maja senji ba. It's a bam 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 bam. And then it's a
No.
Ah.
I'm gonna give you to the count of 3, Stitch.
Oh.
1.
So this movie was directed by Dean Camp, but I've got to say that co-director of the original animated movie, who was Chris Saunders, is actually back involved with this one as the voice of Stitch. He also played the voice of Stitch in the animated movie as well. So while he didn't have a big role behind the camera like he did with the cartoon, he is back as Stitch in this one.
Perfect. Take it from the top again.
This is never quite over.
My name is Chris Sanders. I was the writer and director on the very first Lilo and Stitch.
How?
And I am reprising my role as the voice of Stitch in this film. I am always nervous about the endurance of my voice.
I'm trying to stitchify a howl.
After about 2 hours, his voice begins to just... I'm being paid to make noise. I could not have predicted that Stitch would be embraced by people the way he has.
Move. I'm gonna give you to the count of 3, Stitch. 1.
I'm gonna do this voice for as long as I possibly can. It's just really fun.
And I want to point out Maya Kia Aloha. She plays Lilo, and she's done a really nice job in this, okay? Disney usually had a way of finding child actors who went on to bigger, better, and brighter things. And then when they started doing all their woke nonsense, those people were tagged. They were stereotyped in Hollywood, and a lot of them didn't go anywhere. Hopefully that doesn't happen with Maya. She does a pretty good job in this one. And
Yeah!
Lilo and Stitch is a movie about an alien crash landing on Earth and being accidentally adopted by a 6-year-old girl who thinks that he's a new puppy.
How?
Can you tell me what your name is?
Maya!
Maya Kealoha was such an amazing find for our film. Maya embodies Lilo in a bunch of different ways. That was good, Maya. Like, she really was honestly one of the better actors I've ever worked with.
Have you gotten to meet Stitch yet?
Yeah, he's making a lot of trouble in this movie.
What was it like working with Stitch?
Working with Stitch was, really fun. It was good. We had a good time, I think.
I don't think you're supposed to drink that. It was so much fun.
while we're talking about people, Zach Galifianakis appears in this, and it's good to see him. For a while there, he was starting to look kind of scruffy and look like Seth Rogen. And believe me, you don't want to do anything that is in any way, shape, or form cognizant of Seth Rogen. You just don't want to go there. So he has a nice little role in this, and it looks good. And I also want to point out that Tia Carrere and Jason Scott Lee are in this in cameo roles. Both of them were in the original cartoon version doing voiceovers. Jason Scott Lee, of course, probably most noted for his early days in martial arts movies, and of course playing Bruce Lee in The Dragon Story. And Tia Carrere, back in her day, she was a major screen babe, a screen siren, if you will. She's a little older now, but she's still I guess, what is termed a MILF. Okay, she's still looking pretty good.
Whoa. This one must have been a good one.
How?
Whoa.
Oh, what is that?
A dog, I think.
Looks like some kind of baby bear that come out of the trash.
I like him. Come here, boy.
Yeah, let's put this one back, Lilo.
Sweetie.
You know, we do have better dogs, like way better.
Not better than him. She can talk. Say hello.
Hello.
Dogs no can talk.
Dogs can't talk, Lilo.
Ruff, ruff, ruff.
Say, jumping behind the camera again, our cinematographer is Nigel Bluck, and he's done a nice job putting this together and mixing the, you got to mix the live action with the green screen effects and what have you. He's done a good job on that. Editors, they had two, and you know what my opinion is on that. Anytime you start divvying up editor duties, the story suffers, and I think this one does just a little bit. Adam Gerstel and Phil Bartell are the two editors, and there is a noticeable division, for lack of a better term, in the movie. Initially, we have Stitch down on Earth, and I mean, he's an alien. He doesn't, he has this language he's speaking that no one can understand. And he's having a hard time with English, trying to get meanings for things and what have you, what's going on. And then almost with a snap of a finger, bang, Stitch can talk and he understands what everyone's saying. And the transition from that, it's okay for kids because kids know the story. And even if they don't, kids are accepting of that. And for an older audience, you might say, well, damn, that little alien picked up stuff awfully quick, didn't he? So uh, I think there you had a situation where, the two editors editing together, one probably took over the second part of the movie. And as a result, you get this jump in things and probably a timing thing too to try to keep the thing down. But it's minor. It's nothing that's going to, uh, cause me to give this movie a bad rating or anything. I really enjoyed this. I went in with a lot of trepidation. I really do. You got to remember, this is the first Disney movie that I eyeballed since Snow White, and oh my God, what a disaster that fiasco was! I think I made less than 30 minutes and said, "That's it, we're walking out on this thing." But Lilo and Stitch is fine entertainment. I can't see anything in it, and believe me, if anyone's going to find it, it's going to be me. I couldn't find anything in there that would cause any consternation. So it's good family fun for the entire family. I don't think you'll have any problem taking your kids to see this. There was talk about a sequel that was uh, quelched immediately. That may resurface again because Lilo and Stitch is already now the third highest box office movie so far this year, and it's still picking up a few bucks here or there. So once it makes the switch to the streamer, Disney Plus and what have you, there's going to be a whole lot more things going on and merchandise is, out the wazoo, pal. So it's all over the place. Stitch is kind of a fun little alien, and I think we'll probably see a sequel to this, and hopefully they'll keep that as family friendly as they did this one. This one's fun. You'll have a good time, and it's safe. Disney fare, no problem. Taking the kiddies enjoy. And now that you have learned what you have learned, here endeth your lesson.